Hi everyone, and welcome to this tutorial where I'm going to try out these, they're called Fine Tec Iridescent colors. Iridescent colors are very shiny and they all look quite the same. You can see it now a little bit. As you can see, they have special kinds of colors that are very, very lively. And what I did is, on the back there were the colors that are in this box: gold, golden copper, light purple, amethyst, sapphire blue, and jade green. So I've cut these out of the box and glued them in here so I can see what color every color is, because it's kind of hard to see. You have to keep them in a certain angle to see that shine. Now it's very amazing, and of course I did one on white paper, as you can see, and when put in the correct angle you can see how that shines. It's amazing. Then I tried it on a brownish paper, and also here you can see that here you can hardly see anything, and then you put it in the right angle and it shines all the way to you. So that's amazing. And then of course the best is drawing on black paper. So what I did here is I have drawn in two dragonflies, and together they kind of form a heart, and that is what I want to do with you in this tutorial. So we're going to test that out, and I'm going to use, put this aside here, I'm going to use the pastel me-tainted black paper. As you can see, very, very black indeed. And on my Patreon page I will put down a setup sketch for making a big drawing. This is just a small one. As you can see, we're going to do a little bit bigger now, a bigger drawing. And I'm gonna get started, and I hope you can see what amazing effect this special paint gives. And I will show it to you one more time. It is Iridescent Colors by Fine Tec, and it's a German company, high quality, made in Germany. So let's get started on this drawing. Okay, so what I do is I take a white pastel pencil, and I'm using the setup sketch as I have that on my Patreon page, of course. And the complete setup will be done with the white pastel pencil. Now, a white on black paper is an amazing effect, and I did another tutorial with the Siamese fighting fish, which also has a white underlayer and a black canson pastel paper. And this is what brings out the colors very, very beautiful. And for these dragonflies I'm using that same technique, but instead of going over them with the magic pencils or with color pencils, I will be trying out the iridescent paint. So whether you are going to make this drawing with the color pencils or completely in pastel pencils or with your standard color pencils, make sure to put in that underlayer first. Now here you can see the shape of the heart that I was talking about. And the shape of that heart also implies the movement that the two dragonflies are making together. So in this way your drawing will get very lively indeed. And it gives some kind of emotion, and it's just amazing to have this as a composition for your drawing. You can see all the little segments of the little bodies that end in some kind of a stick. And there are many kinds of dragonflies. So if you type in Google Images and put in there dragonflies, then you can see thousands and thousands of them, and all kinds of colors and types and different kinds of wings. So just go ahead and try them out. Now these two are very perfectly fitting in my heart shape, so that's great. And what I also do is I take a blender stick and then I can wipe a little bit, rub the pigments in there, so you get that nice shine already. Now the dragonfly on top is a little bit tinier than the one in the bottom. And here you can see the white Uniball gel pen in action. Now the white gel pen I only use once I'm happy with the shape that I've created with the pastel pencil and the blender stick. The white gel pen is erasable, and while the pastel and pastel pigments can be erased with your pencil eraser, the white gel is permanent. So once you put that in there, then you cannot erase this anymore. Now let's go to the bottom dragonfly. In this one you can put in a lot more detail, because this dragonfly is closer to the viewer, and you can put in all the little paws and all the little things that are on the wings. And I just glance and look at Google Images for the different kinds of dragonflies that there are, and then I make up the wings a little bit. So you do not have to be all that precise, as long as you have some veins going on. And then going in there with the blender stick. But just pay close attention on what wings are a little bit higher and what wings are a little bit lower. Now our source of light is coming from the left top, so this wing will catch a little more light, while this wing here catches some shadow. And in that way you also get a lively looking dragonfly, of course. Then you take your blender stick again, and then you rub in a little bit of the pigments, and immediately you get those lovely fine and well, a bit kind of transparent wings going on. This is the body itself, that is rather bigger than here the segments on the rest of the body that ends in, well, kind of a stick. And well, that's the tip of the end of the body. And then once I'm happy with the shape again, then I go back in with the white gel pen by Uniball in this case. A nice and lively effect. And I keep notice of the light source that is coming from the left top. And you can see here some highlights on that wing. And well, I just try to approach as much a natural look as possible. Here I add a little line too. It's the outer line of that wing that's a little bit lower than the wing above it, so that catches somewhat more shadow. And this wing is higher than that left top wing is a little bit higher than the left wing that is below, which catches somewhat more shadow. So that is what I am trying to approach. It's great fun to do. And well, I kind of make the lines up, so I do not exactly copy a dragonfly. I just try to get that movement going and the idea of what I'm seeing. Here I end that tip to make that heart shape pop out. And you can see that the top dragonfly is slightly smaller, so that appears to be a little bit farther away, while the dragonfly in front is a little bit bigger. Then it's time to test out that iridescent paint. Now I had a problem because as I am painting, and here I'm trying to film from the side, but I can see what colors I put in there, but it is not doable to film from the top and get the viewer to see what colors I'm putting in, because they only show in a few angles. So you have to trust me on this, that I am putting in all kinds of colors. And later on I will ask my cameraman to film over my shoulder, and then you can actually see what I am seeing. Now I am combining the paint with the black Staedtler fine liner, so I can urge back that black. And here I'm putting in the shadow just underneath, and here my cameraman is filming over my shoulder, so now you can actually see what I'm seeing as I'm putting the paint on and the black ink in between. And it is amazing. It's very nice to do, but you can hardly film it. What I also did is I make a little bit of pigment by rubbing the white pastel pencil on a piece of wood, and then I take that with the pastel knife, and that way creating a little bit of white pigment just behind the two dragonflies. Now this is an amazing effect too, because this also creates the feel of movement of the two flies coming together in that heart shape. So that is very nice too. Also, when you are not using the that special paint, you can even put in a little bit of white watercolor paint for the highlights if you want. So that's a possibility too. And then go back in with that black fine liner. And here you can see the little bit of white pastel pigments. And together they make that awesome drawing. Now what I will do next is I will show you what happens when, and I put the water aside here, I put the paint aside, and now just look what happens. Here you have it. So if you were to try this out, try this paint, and you would frame your drawing, then now and then you get that glance of colors, but only in some angles. Just as when a dragonfly was passing you by, and just for a second you can see his colors. So that's quite mysterious, isn't it? Well, whatever you do, I loved to try this out, and I hope if you like this video that you give it a big thumbs up, Don't forget to subscribe. Maybe check out my Patreon page. And I will see you again next Friday.